Oh my gosh. I remember the scene. And
I remember the scene.
I was like in pain. I was like
in pain. I was
crying
like
so
crying
hard, but
so
I can't
hard.
remember
I
what
can't
it was
remember
about.
what it was about.
I do remember.
I can't remember what it's about. 뭔지 기억은 안 나. I can't remember what it's about. I can't remember what it's about. I was like in pain. I was like crying so hard, but I can't remember what it's about.
Remember this.
I do remember
this. That I was laughing at myself.
I was laughing at myself.
Something I did. It was something that I said or did that was silly, and maybe it was.
It was something that I said or did that was silly, and
it was in French, and I was like.
Maybe it was in French. It was something. It was something that It was something that I said or I did that was silly.
It's like cracking up about my mistake.
I was like cracking up about myself, about my mistake.
But it was so funny, I couldn't stop laughing.
But it was so funny, I couldn't stop laughing. It was like cracking up. 터지는 거였어. About myself. I was like cracking up. 빵 터졌어. I was cracking up. But it was so funny I couldn't stop laughing. Yeah, but I was cracking up about myself. 나 때문에 빵 터졌어. I was like cracking up about myself. 나 때문에 빵 터졌는데 I was cracking up about myself, but it was so funny. 너무 웃겨가지고. But it was so funny. It was so funny. I couldn't stop laughing. Stop laughing. 웃는 걸 멈출 수가 없었어. But it was so funny I couldn't stop laughing. I was cracking up myself. I was cracking up about myself. I was cracking up about myself, but it was so funny I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, but I think it's funny that I can't remember exactly what it was.
But I think it was funny that I can't remember exactly what it was. I can't remember exactly what it was. I can't remember exactly what it was. 정확히 뭔지는 기억이 안 나. I can't remember exactly what it was. 그게 뭐였는지는 기억이 안 나. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, what about you? Can you remember?
What about you? Can you remember?
Kind of cracked me up recently when we recorded the episode about table manners and you were...
You kind of cracked me up. 날 빵 터뜨렸어. 너 때문에 빵 터졌어. Cracked me up. You kind of cracked me up. Crack up. You kind of... 뭐가 좀... You cracked me up. You cracked me up recently. You cracked me up recently when we recorded the episode about table manners. When we recorded the episode about the table manners. You cracked me up recently. 너 때문에 최근에 빵 터졌어. You cracked me up. You were telling me the story about
You were telling me the story about your house guest putting his feet on the table.
That
That cracked me up. I thought that was really
That cracked me up. 그것 때문에 빵 터졌어. That cracked me up. That cracked me up. That cracked me up. 그것 때문에 That cracked me up. That cracked me up.
funny. And
I
also,
thought that was really funny. That cracked me up. I thought that was really funny. And also,
yesterday I was on Reddit, the social media community.
I was on Reddit. I was on Instagram. I was on YouTube. I was on my phone. 뭐 하고 있었어? I was on. And also yesterday, I was on Reddit, the social media community. Neighbor Cafe. It's a kind of a social media community. community다. It's a kind of social media community. community였다. And
people were discussing their favorite comedy movies.
People were discussing their favorite comedy movies. People were discussing their favorite comedy movies. People were discussing their favorite comedy movies. People were discussing their favorite comedy movies. 얘기하고 있었어. People were discussing their favorite comedy movies. People were discussing their favorite comedy movies. 얘기하고 있었어. 그렇구나. 얘기하고 있었다는 것 같네. People were discussing. 디스커스가 이런 식으로도 쓰이는구나. Discuss. Talk about with another person. 그냥 얘기하는 건데. Discussing. To talk about. 그냥 얘기하는 거. About something with another person. group. People were discussing their favorite comedy movies. 제일 좋아하는 코미디 영화에 대해서 얘기하고 있었어. We were discussing. 우리 얘기하고 있었어. We were discussing our favorite foods. 제일 좋아하는 음식에 대해서 얘기하고 있었어. We were discussing our neighborhood. 우리 동네에 대해서 얘기하고 있었어. We were discussing her news. 그녀의 소식에 대해서 얘기하고 있었어. Discuss.
And one of my generation's top comedy is Dumb and Dumber,
And one of my generation's top comedy is Dumb and Dumber. And one of my generation's top comedy is 제일 인기 있었던 코미디는 Dumb and Dumber. Top comedy. 카구나. 카메디. 머리네.
Comedy.
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 그랬나? 진짜로?
Generation's top comedy is
그러네. Comedy. And one of my generation's top comedy
and one of my generation's top comedy is
comedy. And one of my generation's top comedy is Dumb and Dumber. Comedy. My generations. 내 시대. 라떼. My generations. One of my generations top show. 근데 복수형을 안 쓰나? 어디 보자. 카운트 되고 안 카운트도 되는구나. Shows. One of my generation's top shows is Friends. One of my generation's top shows is Friends. One of my generation's top books is Harry Potter. One of my generations.
Dumb and Dumber, and I also really love that movie, Dumb and Dumber.
And I also really love that movie, Dumb and Dumber.
And people were just quoting lines.
And people were just quoting lines
from the movie.
People were just quoting. quote. 이게 아닌데. quoting. quote. 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 이런 얘기를 하고 있었다는 건가? quoting. repeat something written or said by another person exactly. 다시 말하는 거. Write, say the words of someone. 누가 했던 말을 하는 거? quoting. 어떤 대사를 읽고 quote. 인용한다? 그러니까 이거는 people were just quoting lines from the movie. 그 영화에 나왔던 대사를 말하고 있었어. 왜냐면 quote의 뜻이 to repeat something written or said by another person. 어떤 사람 말을 반복하는 거. And people were just quoting lines from the movie. People were just quoting lines from the movie.
But as I was reading them,
But as I was reading them, like
I could hear the characters' voices in my head and see this.
I could hear the characters' voices in my head and
scenes in my head, and it was
see
just
the scenes in my head. 커뮤니티에서
cracking me up. Like I haven't seen that movie.
It was just cracking me up. 그것 때문에 엄청 웃었어. It was just cracking me up. That cracked me up. It was just cracking me up. It was just cracking me up. 그것 때문에 그냥 엄청 웃었어. 그러니까 아까 You cracked me up. 이렇게도 표현했고 You cracked me up. 그 다음에 I was cracking up about myself. 그 다음에 You cracked me up. 그 다음에 That cracked me up. 그것 때문에 엄청 웃었다. That cracked me up. 그 다음에 It was just 때문에 엄청 웃었어. It was just cracking me up. 이렇게 가지고 있네. 정리를 하면은 너 때문에 너무 웃었다. 좀 웃었다. I was cracking up about myself. I was cracking up about. I was cracking up about myself and you cracked me up. 너 때문에 엄청 웃겼어. You cracked me up. You cracked me up. That cracked me up. That cracked me up. That cracked me up. That cracked me up. It was just cracking 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 me up.
Movie in so long, but
I haven't seen that movie in so long. 그 영화 한동안 진짜 오랫동안 안 봤는데 안 보고 있었어. I haven't seen that movie. I haven't seen that movie in so long. 진짜 오랫동안 안 봤어. In so long. I haven't used my account in so long. 이만 만들어볼게. In so long. 오랫동안 그랬어. 이걸 보면은 I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that movie. 그 영화를 in so long. 오랫동안 안 봤어. I haven't used. 사용 안 했어. My account. 내 계정을. In so long. 오랫동안. I haven't read books in so long. 책을 오랫동안 한동안 안 읽었어. I haven't studied English in so long. 한동안 공부를 안 했어. In so long. I haven't listened to music in so long. 한동안 음악을 안 들었어. I haven't I haven't driven my car in so long. 차를 한동안 운전하지 않았어. I haven't listened to the podcast in so long. I haven't listened to the podcast in so long. 그 팟캐스트 한동안 듣지 않았어. I haven't exercised in so long. 한동안 운동을 안 했어. I haven't cleaned my house in so long. 진짜 오랫동안 집 청소를 안 했어. I haven't watched. I haven't gone to the movie in so long. 극장에 안 간 지 한참 됐어. 오랫동안 안 갔어. 한동안 안 갔어. I haven't seen. In so long. 오랫동안. 한동안. 별표 3개다.
just as I was sitting on the subway reading that, I was
But just as I was sitting on the subway reading that,
laughing.
I was laughing.
actually laughing out loud, just
Actually laughing out loud just
at reading
people quoting famous lines from the
so,
movie.
yeah,
So
that
yeah,
got me laughing.
that got me laughing. That got me laughing. That got me laughing. That got me laughing. That got me laughing.
That is awesome.
That is awesome. Awesome. That is awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
That's really good.
That's really good.
Yeah. Something that we've been doing is rewatching Seinfeld from the beginning, and
something that we've been doing is rewatching Seinfeld from the beginning. Something that we've been doing is rewatching Seinfeld from the beginning. Something that we've been doing is rewatching Seinfeld from the beginning. 요즘에 우리가 하고 있는 거 rewatching 하고 있어. We've been doing something that 우리가 하고 있는 것은 하고 있어. 보고 있어. 요즘에 사인필드를. We've been watching Seinfeld. Something that we've been doing 요즘 우리가 하고 있는 거는 is rewatching Seinfeld from the beginning. Something that we've been doing is rewatch. We've been rewatching Seinfeld from the beginning. 처음부터 다 다시 보고 있어. I've been rewatching the show from the beginning. 나 그 드라마 처음부터 다시 보고 있어. Rewatching. Something that I've been doing is 요즘 내가 하고 있는 거는 something that I've been doing 요즘에 하고 있는 거는 something that I've been doing is listening to the podcast. 팟캐스트 듣고 있는 거야. Something that I've been doing is reading books. 요즘 내가 하고 있는 건 책 읽는 거야. Something that I've been doing is searching for YouTube. 찾다 하는데. Something that.
And the other day he said something so funny, like, you know, in Seinfeld how.
And the other day he said something so funny, like, you know, in Seinfeld.
He does his stand-up throughout the episode.
How he does his stand-up throughout the episode.
He'll have a beginning, a middle, and an ending sort of stand-up section.
He will have a beginning, a middle, and an ending sort of stand-up section.
And it was something he said in the stand-up section, and we were...
And it was something he said in the stand-up section, and we were laughing
so hard. And I feel terrible,
feel
guys,
because
because I keep saying it was so funny, and then I can't remember what I was laughing at. But as we know, Seinfeld talks about...
Because I keep saying it was so funny, and then I can't remember what I was laughing at. 뭔지 기억이 안 나. And then I can't remember what I was laughing at. 우선은 웃고 있었는지는 뭐 때문에 웃고 있었는지는. I don't remember what I I don't remember what I was laughing at. 내가 뭐 때문에 웃고 있었는지는 기억이 안 나. I don't remember what I was laughing at. I can't remember. I can't remember what I was laughing at. I can't remember what I was laughing at. 때문에 웃고 있었는지는 기억이 안 나. But as we know,
about stupid things like he usually
Seinfeld talks about stupid things like he usually
brings up very obvious things that we all
brings up very obvious things that we all do.
do. And it was something
It was
like
something
that.
like
Something
that.
so
Something
dumb.
so dumb.
But very relatable. So
Very relatable. And it was something like that. Something so dumb. But very relatable. But very relatable. Relatable. But very relatable. But very relatable. 공감이 되는. But very relatable. So rewatch
Seinfeld. I think it was like
So rewatch Seinfeld. I think it was like
season 3.
season 3. I think it was like in season 3. And I think it was like in season 3.
Okay. It's only 22 episodes to go through, but
It's only 22 episodes to go through. Okay, it's only 22 episodes to go through. 그게 뭐지? 에피소드가 22개밖에 안 되잖아. It's only 22 episodes to go through, but
I think every episode is funny of Seinfeld. So
But I think every episode is funny of Seinfeld. 근데 내 생각엔 Seinfeld 다 재밌어. 모든 에피소드가 재밌어. But every episode is funny of Seinfeld. Every episode is funny of Seinfeld. Every episode. But I think every episode is funny of Seinfeld. Funny of Seinfeld. But I think every episode is funny of Seinfeld. I think every episode is funny of Friends. I think every episode is funny of So you really
can't go wrong with it.
So you really can't go wrong with it.
Really can't go wrong with it.
Can't go wrong with it. So you really can't go wrong with it. So you really can't go wrong with it. 그래서 뭘 봐도 실패할 일이 없어. 실망할 일이 없어. You really can't go wrong with it. You really can't go wrong with it.
You really can't go wrong with it.
Yeah.
You really can't go wrong with it. You can't really go. You really can. You really can't go wrong. You can't really go wrong with it. You really can't go wrong with it. You really can't go wrong with it.